So, Goo, you had not a bone to pick, but I want to get your thoughts on the interception talk with Brock Purdy.
Okay.
And we'll get, again, we have Mike Dunleavy Jr. at 12:40, so you want to stick for that. A lot of Warriors today. But Goo's texting me. He's blowing me up while he's watching Friday Night Lights, saying, I'm tired of this interception.
Well, it was watching me. I fell out. Yeah.
You text at 9, 10 o'clock. You got to start earlier than that.
Right. Well, I got stuff at the house to do.
I hear you. You'll trust me. You got plenty of time. You waited about 20 years. So what's another couple days?
Okay, here I go. Well, Brock Purdy. There was a chance he was going to be on the PUP list, right? Mm-hmm. And we still, without the injury to the elbow, the moneymaker, we still need to see. I don't think there's one person living that would say we need to see more and see if this is real.
Yeah.
And hopefully for Niner fans, it is. But the fact that he's on the fast track and he's going to be under center, by all accounts, by week 1 in Pittsburgh,
right.
To me, and the organization, that's a humongous win.
Yeah.
But I got to stay off X.
Yeah.
Okay, not the drug. But the amount of attention these interceptions are getting in practice, Alan, would we do this to the chef? Would we do this to a baseball guy in the cage? Isn't practice where you just not mess up, but a brother gonna work it out?
Yeah.
Why are you more nervous now because of social media and the fact that we're getting the actual number of the interceptions? Because I'm not. I'm like, you know what? Talk to me. Now, he could regress, and it could be interception gate left and right. Vinny Testaverde on a bad day.
Right.
But until we see that, what do the kids say? Can we cool our jets?
Yeah.
Do you think too much attention's being made about Brock Purdy and his INTs? And I'm going to AI. Allen Iverson. Practice.
I was hoping I was going to be very surprised because every time we bring this up, AI, I'm thinking, is Goo going to get through this and not bring up AI? But it's impossible. It's impossible not to bring up the line.
Not artificial intelligence.
No, I know that.
I'm fascinated by that. But anyway, it's scary, Alan. It's really you over there.
Yeah.
But I'm taking a step back like we're doing too much.
No, I hear you on that. And everybody, I'm not here to police fandom. I believe.
I love that.
I just don't do it. and I believe that the amount of access that everybody gets nowadays, the amount of content that everybody gets nowadays, I think it's great. Yeah. I think there are positives and negatives to everything. If you are a person, and we talked with Willard about it during the crossover about how you are ingesting content, and is somebody more of a Brock guy, is somebody more of a Trey guy, the world is your oyster. You can take it how you want.
What did he say? CNN and Fox.
CNN and Fox, right?
Yeah.
So, and I don't know, would Sam Darnold be MSNBC?
I'll leave that to you.
What's going on here? So my question, so the whole thing is, I don't mind talking about the interceptions. If you, Guru, or me, Alan, or whoever want to take it as a big deal, then you can make it a big deal. If you don't want to take it as a big deal, then don't take it as a big deal. But I'm not going to sit here and say, these people making this, making that. Hey, just put the content out there as fans. Here's my question. Everybody says, why are we so worried about this? Why are we so worried about the interceptions? Don't act like you don't pay attention like everybody else. Not that it matters to you, but that it's just content that you are receiving, and whether you enjoy it or not, it's part of it. If you don't talk about it, what do you want us to talk about?
Yeah.
Not us in the booth, but anybody. What do you want them to tweet about? This is what happened at practice. Okay? If you personally want to choose to care about it, then you can choose to care about it. If you don't, then don't.
Yeah.
It's that seriously. Now, if you're asking me personally, do I care about it?
That's what I'm doing.
Then I feel I'm a person, okay, and Goo, I got the bad wheel, but when I used to be hooping, I'm the lefty. I'm a proud lefty. If I'm working on something, and it's a game, right? Because John still hasn't come out to Washington Park. Neither of you.
I was on my way the week before you got hurt.
Yeah, I'm sure
maybe you wouldn't have been hurt.
Maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you would have set a screen for me, and I don't go that way. We'll never know. But if I'm playing a team that, okay, this team is whatever, or I only got a little bit longer to go, I'm going to work on my right hand. Now, if somebody was taking my Washington Park stats and I'm smoking a bunch of layups with my right hand, they'd say, this guy's trash. Yeah. What they don't know is that I'm working on something. And that's basically what Kyle Shanahan said in yesterday's presser after practice. I want Brock to let it rip. Essentially, if you watch, and I don't know about Steph because Steph is Steph, but you're going to take shots that you don't typically take, right? in practice. You are working on things
All
that
day.
you wouldn't typically do in practice because you want to work on things. Practice isn't the time to play it safe. It's practice. So if you're going to play it safe during practice, then you're never going to feel comfortable going out of your comfort zone when things break down in game. And that's why, whether you think somebody has a kind of Brock type platform or Trey, that's why the context does matter. Okay, you're sitting here on X or Twitter, whatever you call it, and you see Brock through, see Dove Kleiman. Dove Kleiman, he'll just post stats with no context.
Yeah.
And they'll all blow up. Right? And nobody knows, well, were they working on something? Was he trying to fit it into a small space? Nobody knows.
I'm still convinced that's not even a real person.
That's the thing.
I've never even seen that guy in my
Conspiracy
life.
theory now.
I think it's
That's a conspiracy theory now. So without context, it's much ado about nothing. And even with context, hey, this is the time to work on things. So I don't mind the fact that it's being reported. I don't mind the fact that people want to get all huff and puff about it. But it's your choice to do that, or it's your choice not to.
You know what? I hear you talking, and I'm going to say this, Alan, and this is how I live my life. I never once during my career come in here and get on a microphone, turn the on button, and have an agenda. Like you told me, and you were playing with me before the show started, you're off the Trey Lance wagon. No, I'm not. I'm just so real that, I come in some days and I'm feeling it, but I'm not fake enough to stand by if I had an agenda to where I'm going to ignore what has changed.
Right.
So I've told Steiny and anybody that'll listen, I'm addicted to social media. I'm trying to cut back. But what's bothering me about this, as passionate as I am, it's in the interceptions, my subconscious. So in 2 weeks, Alan Styles, if they go to Pittsburgh, Heinz Field, and he throws 3 picks, then I'm going to be, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Maybe I was mad at the info, but something was cooking on the grill when they were reporting it that I was like, nothing to see here. And I'm a double back, but maybe there was something to see. But that's I'm in the middle, but it's in my subconscious now of, is Brock, maybe these interceptions have nothing to do with his elbow, and maybe it's just, okay, he hit the scene running like he did, and now he's in practice. Is this just a form of regression? Is it, like you just said, is a brother just working it out? Time will tell.
We don't know.
But it is in my mental dome, like, okay, I'm going to see because, he wasn't throwing picks when he was here last time.
Right. But I will say that even in games, and I'm curious how this all plays out, and there's been so much. Here's where I want to take this, Goo, because there's been so much to be said, and this is part of social media and analytics and technology. We know that Trey Lance didn't have a good game when you look. But when you do look at his stat line, it did look good. But we're doing this
10 of 15.
10 of 15. And look, we had guys on, we're talking about, we had JT O'Sullivan on from the QB school yesterday with Willard and Dibbs, right? And his whole thing is he really breaks down the game in a way that normally we don't understand.
Right.
I am getting to the point, though, to where I do miss, and I'm going to sound like an old school cat here, get off my lawn. I understand why we have to talk
30,
about.
right?
I'm 33.
You're in the club,
okay, well, thanks.
You ain't Spadoni and John.
That's funny because with Dibbs, okay.
And you're hurt.
And now I'm hurt.
not happy, but go play with you.
With Dibbs make me feel young. Now you make me feel old. Now I don't know what to feel. So you have guys like this who do a great job of breaking it down. But, Goo, don't you just miss the good old days to where I get it. Stat lines, numbers don't always tell the whole truth. They say numbers never lie, but they don't tell the whole truth. Don't you miss the days where it was just what actually happened? Wow. There is so much to be said. I follow the QB school, and now the next breakdown is Stetson Bennett and how, again, wow, if this hadn't happened, would have been this instead of that. I saw one thing with Trey this was Trey's QBR. This would have been Trey's QBR if that pick had happened. And it's getting to the point a little bit where it's preseason, so you assume, and I was talking to John in the green room, hey, these defenses aren't really throwing very dynamic looks. They're very basic, so it's good to do it now. But once the season starts, can we just go with what actually happened? Because this goes down the path of, well, if there was a 50% chance, and how much does that ring count? Because based on what JT O'Sullivan told me in the QB school, that should have been a pick. So really, they don't have a ring, but they really do have a ring. I just don't know where that line ends.
And again, I'm older than you, and you just hit me in a cardiac when you said the good old days, because the good old days to me, pre-social media, when did the NFL week start? Maybe Thursday, you get the Chronicle or the Tribune, and Friday they write up the they give you the breakdown of what's going on. And sports is now and always has been a good drug for me. But back in the day, pre-social, you didn't start using the drug, or you couldn't until maybe Thursday, the Friday, Saturday you had college. But now you can go down so many holes of, if you follow, the people you just mentioned, quarterback school on Twitter, it's nonstop. You're doing the dope all week because you want it and you get fixated on it. But, you're saying, Goo, I don't want it. I want to stop. I want to do other things. But right now, it's just, I'm going Prince. It's a sign of the times to where you can go down an avenue for 3 hours on a Monday about Sunday's game. And then Tuesday, it's there for you. Just a smorgasbord of, it's nonstop. And I guess it's on the individual, Alan, of when is enough. But again, I'm over here saying, hey, I'm tired of the reporting of these interceptions, but I'm also admitting to you, if Purdy in the first 3 games throws a total of 6 picks, I'm going to be like, it was starting in Santa Clara. But I think it was starting against the Raiders in the joint practice,
But I think because the reason I bring up the whole this could have been an interception thing is because I feel as if Purdy played with fire not a ton, but a decent
lucky a lot
last season, right? So now it's okay. Well, if this is the new thing, and we're going to be breaking down the ifs, coulda, woulda, shouldas, and that could have been a pick, but it wasn't a pick. Then this is the new landscape we're in, and how are we going to view quarterbacks based on what could have happened and what should have happened, or what actually happened? Because if that's the case, then run the numbers back on what could have happened with Purdy. If those picks against your Cowboys, by the way,
Diggs dropped one, right? Could have you tie game. Not that I care, but
so that's the thing for me. I understand reporting on practice and what happened in practice. I get that. Take it for what it's worth. If you want to take it, if you want to listen to it, if you want to dissect it, great. If you don't. That's a crazy thing, and people get so upset about this. Just like you said, Goo, just go outside, go play catch with your kids.
Cut the grass.
Do what you need to do, right? Go drink some lemonade at the stand. Whatever.